So these TP parents are new, and they're doing everything. And the mother says, my husband started, since we started TP, really, giving money to my daughter to be able to buy things. But she runs out of money, she has needs, and she's afraid to go to the father. So she comes to me. It puts me in an awkward position because I got to go to my husband. I don't know how their finances work, but I got to go to my husband and say, listen, I need more money for this. And then she's meanwhile waiting for an answer. And then, okay, mommy has to speak to Tati, and if to go speak to the bank manager and see if we'll get you the loan. We've signed some papers over here, donate a kidney, and it's a whole long thing each time. And dad is like, I'm doing what I need to do, but there's a process, right? It's paperwork. It needs to be, and they have money, so it's not a money issue. It's like a question of how to deal with it. The father said, I have a great idea. Either I take care of it or you take care of it. She shouldn't go to me and then go to you and then go to me and then go to you. You take care of it, I have no issue. I'll tell you what my eitzah was. My eitzah was that the father should take her out for a beautiful romantic meal to a nice restaurant. Should buy her a beautiful bracelet or a necklace or a watch or a smartwatch, depends on the kid, whatever, something beautiful. And should say, listen, I want to apologize to you. Somehow, for some reason, you are afraid to approach me. Somehow I created this hierarchy, like I'm King Tut or King Achashverosh, that if you're going to come and I didn't call you, that I'm going to chop your head off. And that you have to wait for the Sharvet Hazav, and then when you need something, you're scared to approach me and you have to go to mommy. So I want to apologize to you for that. That is not part of our relationship anymore. You could always come to me. I'm always available for you. I'm always here for you. Me and mommy are both fully committed to you. And if I'm not available, or if you're not comfortable, don't hesitate to go to mommy. And she has her hand in my pocket anyway, and she has access to all the money, and whatever we can do to help you, we are here. Take responsibility that you created a hierarchy. Take responsibility that your child is scared of you. Oh, daddy's always going to be angry, and he says, not now, I didn't eat yet, I'm busy, I'm da, ba, 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 ba. Stop it. Don't be a scary person. With any of your kids, even the healthiest of the healthiest of the healthiest kids. Why are you scary? Chavetz Chaim was not scary. You don't get respect of your children if you're scary. That's the chappiest point of this. Is chappiest the word? The most chappy part of this whole thing is that those that are demanding respect, the kids don't respect them. And those that treat their children like friends, and they give the children respect, those children forever respect their parents. And they want to please them, because Tati's so nice to me. You know that the Chavetz Chaim, he knew halacha. He wrote the book. I mean, literally, he wrote the book. He wrote Mishnah Berurah. So he knew about kavod and he was also the gadol of the dar. He let his children sit in his seat. He wasn't makpid. All those things that you have to, for your father, you don't sit in your father's seat. I don't know. In our family, it's like we thought if you sit in your father's seat, you will be electrocuted. It's the electric chair, no? We had such a pachad. Chavetz Chaim said, sit. He didn't need, I don't need that. I don't like to talk about myself personally. My kids will tell you, any kind of kavod that you're supposed to give, I always say that's fake kavod. I said, I don't want fake kavod, I want real kavod. Don't open the door for me, I'm not 600 years old. Don't not sit in my seat. That's fake kavod. That's what it says. If you want to be nice to your father, you want something to drink, very nice, fake kavod. I want real kavod. So they asked me, what's real kavod? I said, that's for you to figure out. Figure out what would really make me feel respected. And one by one, over time, most of them figured it out. What makes me happy is not that you dress up for me, is not that you say that you stand up for me. I don't need that. I'm a real kuved zicher, a kuved, roidef achar kuved. I want the real kuved. I want you to really respect me. I had a father that was here complaining. my kid doesn't respect me. My kid doesn't respect me. I told him, you know why? You're not respectable. You have anger problems. You treat your wife like garbage. You yell and angry at your kids. You don't have any money. You're not matzliach. You're not a Talmud Chacham. You talk lashon hara all day. I said, I'm sorry, but why don't you just give them something to respect? Well, I said it much nicer than that. I'm not mean, but it's like, like we demand respect. Once you have to demand respect, is that respect? It's fake. I demand that you like me. I demand that you respect me. When I enter the room, I demand, what are you, King Tut? You should get one of those costumes, walk in, and have like drums, boom, 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 and then one of those King Tut, and then a Trump made one of those, do they make those? Announcing, Father is home. Yes, Father, may I get you something to drink? I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. This is not 1600s anymore. Those days are gone. My father, since his family was wiped out by the Nazis, Yimach Shemam, so he was very close to Reb Shmuel David Wolkin. And Reb Shmuel David Wolkin, Zatzal, he walked my father down the chuppah with his wife. It was a very, walked down father, mother, whatever. He walked my father down the chuppah, and he said, when I grew up in Radin, he grew up in Radin by the Chavetz Chaim. I was a little kid. I was a slave to my parents. I was a slave to my father. My father would come in. I would run, take his shoes. I would go bring him his slippers. I would fill up his cup of glass. If he looked at me, and I was a slave. But I always knew one day I'm going to have kids of my own. I'm going to have these little slaves. But then I came to America. And now I'm a slave to my kids. That's it. Those days are gone. Give me covet. I demand respect. Respect is not something you can demand. Once you demand it, it's not respect. It's not real. Real covet. Be respectable. Those people who are demanding respect, their kids don't respect them. They think, oh, father's always in a bad mood, and don't talk to me now, don't talk to me here, everybody's... That they don't respect that. You want to have yiras hakavod. You want to have them... if you were standing in line by the Chavetz Chaim, you would be scared. People tziter. People were scared. What are you scared of? He was 3'6". He's not going to beat you up. He's a tiny man. What are you scared of? Yiras hakavod, it's like amazing. The Nesiv Shalom says that there's ahava and there's yira. Love is higher than yira. But then he says, really, the highest level is yira. Which kind of yira? Which kind of fear? Yira shalei tifgam es ahava. That I'm scared to ruin this love. I'm so scared. I have such a love relationship with Hashem that I don't want to ruin it. That's a real love. That's real relationship. You want your kids to have such a great relationship with you that they feel your love and your empathy and your sympathy and that you're with them and that you understand them. You're the biggest fan in the world. There's nothing that anybody else can say to them that you haven't said to make their heart feel warm. Nothing that anybody else can do for them that you didn't do for them to make them feel warm. They don't need anything from anybody else because they have mommy and daddy. That's our job. Like we always say the story. She usually sits where you're sitting, where this TP parent had this mom had a daughter who's very, very beautiful, and she was approached by a very wealthy guy. And he said, listen, I'll get you a credit card with your name on it. You can come on my private jet and we're going to go around the world. He was doing that with her friend and he wanted to invite her along. A lot of wives are thinking, really? What's his number? A lot of girls out there would say, that's a good deal. Sugar daddy, unlimited credit card. Now, her parents were not wealthy, but they did TP mamish with Mesiras Nefesh. Those of you who know, Mesiras Nefesh, what they did for her. All their money was basically going to her. They paid for so many things that everybody would say, so extravagant. Why do you have to do so much? So why can't you ever say no? She told this guy, I don't need you. I have parents. They give me everything I need. And believe me, what she could have spent in one day on this guy's unlimited credit card was much more than what they were giving. Okay, they don't need unlimited. Give as much as you can, but not just physical, not just financial, but massage their nefesh, massage their inside, smile. Great to see you. You're on the phone, they walk in, you put down the phone. Either you hang up, sorry, somebody very important is here, right? Or you say, hang on 1 second, somebody very important came into the room. Hold on 1 second. If you can't hang up, I don't care if you're on the phone with the President of the United States. 15 seconds, big hug, how you doing? Sorry, I'm on the phone. That's if you can't hang up. That's if you can't spend time with them, right? My kids know, I'm busy with group, they stay away from me. But when they call during group, they know they're first, right? You've seen my kids, they know that they're first. They come first. Your kids come first. Okay, so there's a bunch of lessons to learn from all of that. Try to implement, and I know it's hard, it's so hard to implement. It's so hard to implement, but remember that. Those angry people that want everybody to respect them, and they want everybody to be careful of them, and I have a cute story. I have a friend of mine who was sitting at the table on Shabbos. He's a good friend of mine, but you'll see. So we're sitting at this table on Shabbos, 5 guys together, right? And I'm going like this, And he goes, could you stop that? That's really annoying. The guy next to me, I don't know, sneezed or blew his nose or something. And he goes, can you cut that out? It's really annoying. Then the guy was trying to get behind him. He was pushing him. Anyway, in the span of 20 minutes, he told all 4 of us, can you cut that out? That's real annoying. And then basically all 4 of us at the same time looked at him and said, can you cut that out? That's really annoying. He was the most annoying out of everybody, being annoyed by everybody else. He had a problem with everybody. So he thinks people are going to like him for that. People are going to respect him for that because he's putting his foot down. It's annoying. So people get angry and demand respect. Don't get respect. Maybe they'll get some level of fear, and then your kids will roll their eyes on the insides, or wait till you turn around and they'll be like, nut job. Doesn't work. Being your kid's best friend sounds so American. That's what the Gedolim say. That's what the Gedolim say from 100 years ago. If you look at all the things I'm sending out, it's unbelievable. Yaakov Avinu calls his children Achim, brothers, my brothers, right? And it says in the Shla, you can look it up, it's just the art site, right? He says that when you have children that are older, not talking about a 5-year-old, right? It's kedai that the relationship should be like brothers. You can look up the exact lashon over there. But we have to. I asked Reb Gershon Edelstein, what changed? He said, jump in the lake. He basically said, it's Yedua. Every dar is different. He said, there's no small daicha anymore. Everybody, we grew up, small daicha, yimin mekarev. A little bit of rejection and punishment, put your foot down. People did too much of that, but okay. And then yimin mekarev, come here, I love you. And now he said, no more. Remember how he said it? Good, the kishmaka litvish Yiddish. Heinte nitto kan smell decha. Sounds like Chinese. Heinte nitto kan smell decha. I was like, what? Heint nitto kan smell decha. Now there is no smell decha. I was like, what? You just ripped up a whole part of what we know? Right? So we said, what do you mean, even a healthy kid? So you would think, because we were talking about crisis, right? So you would think he would say, no, I'm not talking about healthy kids. I'm talking about sick kids. He said, watch the clip. He's like, healthy kid, well, and he's thinking about it. He's like, well, if the kid knows and understands, there's 100 conditions. None of you are doing small daicha with those conditions. If he understands your intention, he's not upset, and he understands what you're doing, then maybe. It's like they know. The generation changed. They're not going to respect you when you give them those looks. Right? You give those looks that we got from our parents. Anybody get that look? Got that look? Somebody asked me, and what would have happened if you didn't listen? I said, I have no idea. Who the heck wouldn't listen to a look?
So scary.
Right? I don't even know what would have happened. Why would I try to test that out? I got to look, for crying out loud. Right? You got to look. That was enough. I'm not talking about abusive parents. I'm about good parents. You're going to That's it. That's all it took. Now you try that on your kids. They're like, Tati, what's wrong with your eyeballs? You have a twitch? Something wrong with your face? They'll think, what are you, sick? Why don't you use words? Use your words, Dad. Tell me what's wrong, Mommy, what's wrong with his face? I think he's having a stroke. Are you having a stroke? What's with your eyes? Why you keep on making... it just doesn't, it's a different world. He says now you just need to be so close to them, and when you're really close to them, you can boost them and you can protect them. It's also the secret of protecting children from predators, protecting children from getting bullied. High self-esteem. My parents think I'm amazing. It's really hard with some of your kids because some of your kids are really not amazing. Nothing personal. But some of your kids are really stupid. I'm just saying some, not all of you, some of you, you know. And it's really hard. And God gives you these kids, and some of them are really like, you know, you want to kill them. You just want to kill them. Because they remind you of your spouse. Whatever reason. Remind you of the mother-in-law, the father-in-law. It's hard. Everybody can love and give admiration and respect to the good kids who don't need it. You know, 100 plus, oh, nachas beaming out of our eyes. Those kids don't need it. It's the kid who's struggling